Once again, your radio is set to AM stereo 930 WPAT, and you are listening to the Indo American show, where we have on the phone Sheikh Ahmed Ali. And Sheikh Ahmed Ali, assalamu alaikum. I forgive you for being late and throwing off my scheduling because I am so excited to talk to you again. So all is well. How are you this beautiful morning?
Walaikum assalam wa barakatuh. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I feel a little bit discomfort. I don't know. I guess I did something and I pulled a muscle, so I'm a little bit uncomfortable this morning. But nonetheless, Nonetheless, here I am with you, and I'm so excited to speak to you once again. I know you've got something prepared, so I'm going to ask you to please go right ahead.
Okay, that's great. It's very important I wanted to start to say salam alaikum to everyone who is hearing us. Good morning to all the brothers and sisters who are listening to our show around the globe. And I wanted to remind everyone about Ramadan and the Ramadan, the virtues that we had mentioned last week. We talked about some of the great, issues that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ had mentioned, and also great issues that the Quran had told us about fasting. Now we are developed a good relationship with Allah during this month till now, and also that we need to understand some good aspects about Ramadan. It's not about fasting only, but it's also about the effort, the sacrifice. So every Muslim should understand that in Ramadan he should offer the sacrificing his time, some of his efforts for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he could learn more about the Quran. He could take the time to recite Quran, because basically Ramadan is the month that the Quran was revealed in. And the Quran is the book of guidance. Whoever wanted to get the guidance, let's get that guidance from the Quran. And when you think about the companions of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, they used to spend most of their time learning Quran, knowing how to recite and how to understand. They used to dedicate their time to get the meaning of the Quran, because Quran is not only to be recited, but it's the curriculum of the life. Quran is the book that every Muslim should put in front of him, the role model in the Quran. And the role model because it's the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when you come to the implementation of this Quran, then you look at the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his characteristics. And we can see the Quran full of good messages, and all, of course, the Quran's messages are good. But think about how the Quran told us in Ramadan to look at the meanings of mercy, the meanings of love. For example, Allah is telling us, whoever was, unable to fast because of sickness, because of traveling, so it's not obligatory for him to fast. It's not required from him to fast at all. Otherwise, he's putting himself in troubles. And actually, so that tells you that the purpose of fasting is not to make people suffering, but the purpose is to feed your soul, to feel the suffer of others. That's why Ramadan is that month that we should give ourselves time to reflect about what was the reason for the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What was the reason for the Quran to tell us, all you who believe, fasting has been prescribed upon you as it was prescribed upon those who before you, so you may attain taqwa. Taqwa, this is the outcome of fasting after you reflect. Now, we are in the month of Ramadan, and alhamdulillah, we had good time to get used to fasting, but it's the time now every Muslim should reflect upon himself. Why Allah had made Ramadan? Because Allah wanted you to learn to sacrifice. Lots of people nowadays, they took everything in their life for granted. So you wake up in the morning, have your coffee, get your breakfast, and sometimes lots of people don't appreciate the bounties, the favors that they have. When you feel yourself that you are not able to eat, you are not able to drink, not because of fasting, but because that you are poor or you do not have money to get what you need. Imagine while you are fasting and you feel that, imagine the poor, imagine the orphans, imagine some of the needy families. What do they feel? They are struggling and they are suffering, and that's why Islam told us that these are the meanings of being together, the meanings of solidarity, that you are one nation, and there's like other dimension. There are other dimensions for our worship to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah bless us all. Allahumma ameen. Ya Rabbil Alameen. So I get back to you.
Yes, thank you so very much. And
may Allah bless you and accept our fasting. Ameen.
I mean, Sheikh, for those people who may not be familiar with the religion or the teachings or some of the aspects of Al-Islam, what would you say to them if they're listening and they're trying to, because they have this misconception that, oh my goodness, it's so difficult to fast that you cannot eat or drink, and that's the thing that some people take away from this. I know you touched upon it and you said it's to purify, or maybe perhaps it's for your soul more so than from your physical body. How would you explain to them again why it's so important for us to fast, not just staying away from food or from drink, but also like how do you go about maybe cleansing your heart, maybe fasting from certain I guess temptations, if you would.
Yes. So when first of all, I just wanted to send my regards to all the brothers and sisters who are listening to us right now. And actually, we are like one family, as a big family in humanity. And we understand maybe that you have a person who is not familiar with the Islamic worship or the commands in Islam, and I'm just giving them the message. In Islam, all the acts of worship is not made to just obey blindly, but it has wisdom behind it. When we talk about fasting, for example, fasting has the benefits for the body. I want every person listening to me right now, once I finish, I want you to Google and to search about something called dry fasting. Look at about dry fasting and the benefits for the body itself. That period of time when you fast, look at the benefits on your health, on your body, that you get rid of the toxic, materials and the elements of the bad stuff in your body. So we will realize that the Creator is the one who created us, and He knows what fixes us. That's number one. Number two, when you work on yourself, on being in a spiritual situation, and see how does this spirituality would help you to be a good person, to purify yourself from any diseases in your heart, in yourself, not being greedy, not looking for yourself, not, taking everything for granted. When you look at these aspects, if you have your son, if you have your daughter, and you feel bad that they are not appreciative, that they are not, grateful to all what you do, so you would love for them to practice fasting in Ramadan, because once they start practicing, they will be appreciative for everything they will have. They will be thankful for the piece of food. How many people, how many human beings that we even hear about, they are starving to get one cup of water, pure water, clean water. How many people, they might die because they don't have food. We have lots of people, they might face that. So we as Muslims, we appreciate the bounties and the favors of Allah. When you have food on the table, then you would feel the blessings of Allah upon you. That's number one. Number two, when we talk about the aspects of fasting on the health, and that is something scientifically, medically proven, that the scholars, the doctors talked about the benefits of fasting in Ramadan on that way. Look at lots of famous people nowadays. They talked about how did they lose weight because of this long period of fasting. So you train yourself, you give your body this time throughout the entire year to get rid of the toxic elements, to get rid of the bad stuff. And that's time for even your blood, for the cycle to circulate and be in a good shape. I wanted everyone to read by himself about what we call it dry fasting for a long time. Search even outside Ramadan, you will discover by yourself the benefits to your health when you fast like the Muslims in Ramadan. Number three, when we talk about the good things that we learned from Ramadan, you would love for yourself to practice and to witness. Nowadays, look at everywhere in the globe, in like the big cities where you have the communities of Muslims are coming together. So if you are a human being and you are just individual by yourself, you feel lonely, you feel depressed, you feel like I need a partner. I need someone to share my stories with. I need someone to listen to me. So imagine when you go to the mosque, the place of worship, and you find yourself surrounded by 300, 500 people every night for 30 consecutive days, and you share with them the food, being with the sense of the family, even if you do not have family surrounding you, even your children, your own kids went to another state, they traveled to another country, but you have your family in the mosque. You prepare the food together. You chat at night together. You talk. You share. even if you have problems, they will help you. The relationship amongst Muslims does not have the kind of formalities. Like, we do not have these kinds of being, so sensitive about some of the issues. No, we are the nation that we are open for everyone.
And that is why I guess we can always say Islam has no race or creed, and we are, as long as you're a Muslim, as long as you're a member of the human race, you are all one brother and one sister.
Exactly, 100%. I agree with you, sister.
Thank you.
And when we said before, when Allah or God created us from dust, and then He mixed that dust with water. And why He mixed it with water? Because water has no color. And the wisdom behind this, that we are brothers and sisters, and we are belong to the same father and the same mother, Adam and Eve. And in Islam, you feel yourself, you are not a stranger. And not only this, I am calling even the brothers and sisters who did not practice Islam before. I'm inviting them. Go to the closest mosque that you have and see, try this. You will see yourself, you are welcomed, and you will not feel that you are a strange in the community. Once you enter to them, you will feel yourself like part of them, one of them. In Islam is the religion of equality. There is no difference between a person who is black, a person who is white, regardless of your religion, regardless of your color, regardless of your ethnicity, regardless of your mother tongue, regardless of your nationality, you will feel yourself welcome anytime amongst the Muslims. And that's the wider message of Islam.
All right, Sheikh Ahmed, thank you so very much. It's such a pleasure to listen to you, but it is live radio, and I am running behind schedule again. I thank you so very much. It is always a pleasure, and I think next week we will have another interesting topic, and we can discuss a little bit more. And again, thank you so very much. I know you are extremely busy, and I know you have to be tired also, but I thank you for waking up early again to speak to me.
Thank you.
You take care, and we'll talk again next weekend, okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.